Alright, hi guys. This is a video on place value. We're going to talk about what that means. And in my class, we've only been working on this for a day now, but a lot of you have a lot of general understanding of place value. So it's all about our number system. I'm going to write that down over here. Number system. We have developed a system of numbers all based on the number 10. Our number system is based on 10. And the way it kind of works, we've been talking about this in class, is if I have 10 ones, that's one 10. If I have 10 tens, that's one 100. If I have 10 hundreds, that's one 1,000. So we call our system a base 10 system. And when I start talking about a number, any number, like let's say I'll make up an example number down here. Example. Let's say I have the number 324.5. Just a made-up number, 324.5. That means I have 3 hundreds, 2 tens, 4 ones, and 5 tenths. The decimal point goes right here. You can see I have it up on the line here between the ones and the tenths. It's basically we take each digit, every single number here is called a digit, and we place it in the appropriate spot. So if I have $324, let's say, that means I have 3 100s, 2 tens, 4 ones, 0.5, so 5 tenths. And a lot of times when we do these number system problems, we don't really want to spend all the time making these like charts. This gets kind of cumbersome going through and trying to make a chart all the time for this stuff. So a lot of times we'll just say this is the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, the ones, the tenths, the hundredths, and we'll write it like that with numbers instead of words. But place value takes those digits, places them in the appropriate spots. So what we're going to be doing today for our lesson, and if I'm going fast, pause the video so you can write this down, but what we're going to be doing today is talking about how do we decompose numbers. So decomposing numbers is kind of our topic. And decomposing, that word, means to break something down. If something decomposes, you're breaking it down. So break down. Break something down into something smaller. We're going to be breaking down numbers, decomposing numbers. And a real simple example of what that means is like if I had the number 83. Just a regular number, 83. 83 can be broken down so that it's the same as saying I have 8 tens and 3 ones. If I told you I had $83 in my pocket, I could have 8 $10 bills and 3 ones, $83. So it's breaking that number down. So example 2 here. Let's break down some numbers and just see if you kind of get the hang of this. If I told you I had 263, what would that break down into? Maybe pause the video and try it yourself first to see if you can get it right. So 263 would be 2 hundreds and 6 tens and 3 ones. That's what I would break that down into. You can't even see what I'm writing. Let's zoom out here. So 200, 6 tens, and 3 ones. I like to think of it in terms of money because it's something easy for me to think about. If I had $263 in my wallet, I could have 2 $100 bills, 6 $10 bills, and 3 ones. It's just another way to kind of think about it. So decomposing numbers breaks the numbers down. It helps you really focus on the place value of each number. So we've got this 2 is in the 100 spot, 6 is in the 10 spot, 3 is in the 1 spot. It means I would really know how to organize that chart if I felt like building a chart. Here's my decimal point. Here's the 1 spot, the tens, the hundreds. This number falls into 2 hundreds, 6 tens, 3 ones. Point nothing. Point nothing. We don't have anything on the other side. So this 1/10, we got nothing. 1/100th. Well, yesterday in class, we were taking these numbers, using these charts, and we were trying to multiply and divide the numbers, kind of do something with them. So my next thing I'm going to put in the notes today is let's talk about multiplying and dividing these numbers. So we're really working on how do we multiply and divide by like tens, hundreds, and thousands specifically. So here's my place value chart. I'm going to fill it in real fast here that this is the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. And I could go farther. I could go up out here to 10,000s, millions. I could build this out. This is the 1/10th, the 100th, the 1,000th. And let's just kind of make up a problem here for a second and make sure we're all kind of understanding this a little bit. So my problem is, what is 245.3 times 10? 245.3 times 10. Okay, well, 245.3. Well, that means I have 2 100s, 4 10s, 5 ones, 0.3 tenths. That's my number. I'm going to take that number and I'm going to multiply it by 10. Times it all by 10. Well, timesing it all by 10 moves it up a place of value. If I take 2 hundreds, timesing it by 10 is going to move it up to 2,000s. Timesing the 4 by 10 is going to move it up here to the 100 spot. Every single one of these is going to move up one place value. And that's all from multiplying by 10. Times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10. So my new number still keeps the decimal right here on the line, but my new number is 2,453. So I'm going to write, my answer is 2,453 if I multiply by 10. Now we're hoping we're going to kind of come up with some easier ways to do this. We don't want to make this chart every single time. You're going to get tired of doing that pretty fast if you haven't already. So my question is, what's another way? What's another way we could approach this problem? So let's take that problem that we just did. We did 245.3 times 10. And we got our answer was 2,453. Now technically, this is my comma, 2,453.0, technically. So our decimal's right here, technically. But the way I'm going to think about this is when I multiplied by 10, basically what happened is the decimal point moved back one notch. So really, if you can remember that every time I multiply by 10, I just move the point back one spot, that's a whole lot faster than going through this entire process of moving everything up one level, up one place value. So both ways work totally great, but it's just like I said, another way to think about it is we're moving the decimal point around. So let's talk about what that looks like. Let's try some problems where we just move the decimal point, where we're not actually worrying about, we're not really going to worry about making a chart or anything like that.